Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, my dear students, how are you? I miss you all. On this occasion of Eid al-Fitr, may Allah bless your family and home with peace and prosperity. Today we'll continue with Unit 9. Open your class book on page 73, Unit 9, Lesson 6. We are going to listen to specific words and match them to information in a table. So we have listening. We are going to ask and answer questions about places. We have speaking. And we are going to understand where the adverbs of frequency. Do you remember the adverbs of frequency? Always, sometimes, and never can go in sentences. We have writing. And don't forget your workbook on page 69. We are going to write about things we do. But first, let's revise the words of lesson 5. Do you remember? Let's remember together. Building. Yes, excellent. Building. Yes, here we have Spain. Okay, Spain. Look at this map. We have Spain. Spain is a country. Yes, country. We have bridge. Repeat after me. Bridge. Look at this image. Yes, river. We have river. A river. Old car. Look at this car. Yes, it's an old car. Old is an adjective. Do you remember adjectives? Yes. And look at this car. Long car. Long car. Now, let's do our homework. Open your workbook, please, on page 68. Let's correct our homework together. Exercise number 1. Order the letters and write the words. Look at the pictures, okay? We have the letters. We should order it and write the words. Yes, old, old. Here, what do we have? Number 2. Yes, excellent. Bridge. Please write with me, bridge. Now, do you remember what is? Yes, country. Excellent. Country. Here, number 4. Look at the picture, please. We have river. Yes. Now, number 5. Look at this car. It's a long car. Yes, excellent. Long. Please write long. Number 6. Look at this picture. Building. Yes, excellent. Building. Now, exercise number 2. Read the text in the class book and write. Did you read the text in the class book? Yes, let's see. Number 1. Number 1. The Gigantia temples are the oldest temples in Europe. Do you remember this information? Yes. What are the oldest temples? The Gigantia temples. Yes. They are over. Yes, excellent. 5,500 years old. Yes, write it here. Okay, 5,500 years old. Number 2. The 2 bridges over Lake Pontchartrain are the longest bridges over water in the world. They are nearly 24 miles long. Yes, excellent. Number 4, Russia. Do you remember Russia? Russia is the biggest country in the world. Yes, please write it. Russia is the biggest country in the world. It's about, who can remember? It's about 17,075,400. Yes, excellent. 17,075,400 square kilometers. Number 4. The Nile is the, do you remember? The Nile is the longest river in the world. The Nile is the longest river in the world. It is, yes, 6,695 kilometers long. It is 6,695 kilometers long. Please correct your homework with me. Now, let's start our lesson today. Listen and complete the table. But before listening, let's see. Please look at the table. We have country. What's the meaning of country? Egypt, Brazil, the UK, Spain. Yes, we have many countries. Lake. What's the meaning of lake? Do you remember lake? بحيرة. Lake. We have river. We have the Nile River. Do you remember river? Yes, نهر. We have mountain. What's the meaning of mountain? Yes, we have Everest mountain. Mountains mean جبل. So we have many countries, Egypt, Brazil, the UK, Spain, and we are going to talk about the biggest lake and the longest river and the highest mountain. Okay, do you remember the superlative form? Biggest, longest, highest. Here we double G and we add EST. Here we add EST and here we add EST. Biggest lake, longest river, highest mountain. For example, look at Egypt. Okay, Egypt is a country. What is the biggest lake in Egypt? Yes, it's Lake Nasser. Now you are going to hear a recording of a teacher asking a class quiz questions. Okay, so please look at the table and you must find the correct place in the table.
Listening 87. Listen and complete the table. Number 1.
What's the biggest lake in Egypt?
Is it Lake Nasser?
Yes, it is. What's the longest river in Egypt?
The Nile.
Yes. What's the highest mountain in Egypt?
Mount Catherine.
That's right.
Number 2.
What's the biggest lake in Spain?
Is it Lake Sanabria?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So here we have Spain.
What's the longest river in Spain?
The Tagus.
Tagus.
That's right. What's the highest mountain in Spain?
It's Mount Tide.
Yes.
Number 3.
What's the biggest lake in Brazil?
Is it Lake Patos?
Yes, it is.
So here we have Brazil.
What's the longest river in Brazil?
The Amazon.
That's right. What's the highest mountain in Brazil?
Is it Fog Peak?
Yes, it is.
Number 4.
What's the biggest lake in the UK?
It's Loch Ness.
Yes,
That's
here we have
right.
the UK.
What's the longest river in the UK?
Oh, I don't know that.
The longest river in the UK is the Severn. What's the highest mountain in the UK?
Is it Ben Nevis?
Yes, it is. Very good.
So please write them now. Okay, here we have Spain. And the biggest lake in Spain, Lake Sanabria. The longest river in Spain is the Tagus. The highest mountain in Spain is Mount Tide. We have Egypt. The biggest lake in Egypt is Lake Nasser. The longest river in Egypt is the Nile. The highest mountain in Egypt is Mount Catherine. Here we have the UK. The biggest lake in the UK, Loch Ness. The longest river in the UK, the Severn. The highest mountain in the UK is Ben Nevis. Here we have Brazil. The biggest lake in Brazil is Lake Patos. The longest river in Brazil is the Amazon. The highest mountain in Brazil is Fog Peak. Now I want to ask you some information about Syria, okay? Yes, let's see. What is the highest mountain in Syria? Who can tell me? Yes, the highest mountain in Syria is Sheikh Mountain. Sheikh Mountain. And what is the longest river in Syria? Yes, the longest river in Syria is the Euphrates. Yes, Euphrates. أطول نهر في سوريا هو نهر الفرات. نعم، وأعلى جبل في سوريا جبل الشيخ. Now exercise number 2, speaking. Act and answer. We have some adjectives, long, big and high. But before that, let's watch the DVD. What's the biggest lake in Spain?
What's the biggest lake in Spain? Lake Sanabria.
What's the longest river in Spain? Let's see, what's the longest river in Spain?
What's the longest river in Spain? The Tagus.
The Tagus, yes. What's the highest mountain in Spain?
What's the highest mountain in Spain? Mount Teide.
Now we are going to ask and answer questions about the table in exercise 1. What's the biggest lake in Spain? Look at big, okay? Big, the biggest, okay? Lake Sanabria. What's the longest river in Spain? Long, longest, okay? Long, the longest. The Tagus, yes. What's the highest mountain in Spain? High, the highest. Mount Tide. Now, what's the biggest lake in Egypt? Lake Nasser, yes. Do you remember? What's the longest river in Egypt? The Nile. What's the highest mountain in Egypt? Mount Kasran, yes. Now we have writing preparations, but before that, let's revise adverbs on frequency. Do you remember always? Do you remember? Always. What's the meaning of always? Always means at all times. At all times, every day. You always do your homework at 4 p.m. I listen to music every day. Every day means always, so always means every day. I'm not alone. Allah is always with me. Okay? Now, look at always here. We put always before the verb. Okay? I always go to the shopping mall. I never go to the shopping mall. We put always and never before the verb. So we usually put the adverbs of frequency before the verb. I always go to the shopping mall. I never go to the shopping mall. Now, never. Never stop. Never means not ever, not one time. Okay? My students never waste their time. My friend doesn't go to the cinema. Doesn't go means never. I can say my friend doesn't go to the cinema or my friend never goes to the cinema. So we usually put adverbs of frequency before the verb. Always and never we put them before the verb. I always go to the shopping mall. I never go to the shopping mall. Now, sometimes, do you remember sometimes means on some occasions but not always. She sometimes goes to school on foot on Fridays. We have art on Mondays. Sometimes, okay, not all times, sometimes. Sometimes alone is better. Always can come at the beginning or at the end of sentence, okay? Some adverbs of frequency can go at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. So sometimes can go at the beginning, sometimes can go at the end, okay? I sometimes go to the shopping mall. Here we have sometimes before the verb. I go to the shopping mall sometimes. Here sometimes comes at the end of a sentence. Sometimes I go to the shopping mall. Here sometimes comes before before the subject. Okay? So it can come at the beginning or at the end. Always, sometimes and never. Always and never come before verb. Okay? Always and never come before verb. Sometimes can come at the beginning or at the end. So adverbs of frequency tell us how often something happens. We usually put adverbs of frequency before the verb. قبل الفعل. I always go to the shopping mall. I never go to the shopping mall. But some adverbs of frequency can go at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. Always and never comes before a verb. But sometimes, I sometimes go to the shopping mall. I go to the shopping mall sometimes. Sometimes I go to the shopping mall. Let's see exercise number 3. Are these sentences correct? Read and tick or cross. We are going to read the sentences and you put tick or cross. Let's see. Number 1. I always go to Lake Sanabria on holiday. Look at always before the verb. Okay, before the verb. So we put tick. Alison cooks never. Look at never. Is it correct? No, it's incorrect. Okay, so cross here, please. Never comes before a verb. We should say Alison never cooks. Alison never cooks. Number 3. You watch DVDs sometimes. You watch DVDs sometimes. Yes. Tick here. Sometimes can go at the end. Now number 4. The boys play football always. Can we put always here? No. We should say the boys always plays football. Okay, before a verb. So cross here. Number 5. Always I go swimming on Saturdays. Can we put always here? No, cross here, please. I should say I always go swimming on Saturdays. Now number 6. She sometimes plays chess. She sometimes plays chess. Yes, correct. Sometimes comes before the verb. She sometimes plays chess. We can say she plays chess sometimes or sometimes she plays chess. So, tick here. Number 7. They never eat Italian food. Look at never before the verb. Excellent. Tick here, please. So, always and never come before the verb. Sometimes come at the beginning or at the end. فقط sometimes تأتي ببداية الجملة وفي نهايتها. Always and never فقط قبل الفعل. Now, open your workbook, please. On page 69. Writing exercise number 1. Circle all the words you can use. Here we have sentence and you should circle all the words you can use. Number 1. She watches TV in the evening. Yes, here we can use sometimes. Okay, sometimes, because sometimes come at the beginning. Sometimes she watches TV in the evening. Number 2. He plays computer games at night. Here we have before the verb. We can use always, sometimes, and never. Okay? He always plays computer games at night. He sometimes plays computer games at night. He never plays computer games at night. Number 3. He has a shower in the morning. Here what can you use? Who can tell me? Yes, we can use only sometimes. He has a shower in the morning sometimes, because sometimes come at the end. Here, he goes to the theater on Saturdays. We can use always, sometimes, and never. Yes, excellent. Now, number 5. Here we have the beginning. We can only use sometimes. Sometimes they play football after school. So sometimes comes at the beginning and in the end. At the end. Yes, number 6. We go swimming at the beach. Here we can use always, sometimes, and never. We always go swimming at the beach. We sometimes go swimming at the beach, and we never go swimming at the beach. Now exercise number 2. Write. We have some words and we should write them in the blanks. Make, holiday, mall, Saturdays, tomato, tennis, rivers. I sometimes help my dad to tidy up the living room. I never swim in. Can tell me I never swim in rivers. Yes, excellent. Sometimes I play. Yes, tennis with Gemma after school. Please write them with me now, okay? I never go to school on Saturdays. Yes. I always cakes for special days. I always make. Please look at always. We put always before the verb, before make. I always make cakes for special days. We sometimes go on to the mountains. Go on? Yes, excellent. Holidays. Holiday to the mountain. Here sometimes comes before the go. I always have cheese and tomato on pizza. Pizza. Always comes before a verb, before have. I go to the shopping mall. Yes. With my cousin, sometimes. Look at sometimes. Sometimes come at the end, okay? Sometimes comes at the beginning. I sometimes help, sometimes I help. Here I go to the shopping mall with my cousins. Sometimes, yes. Now exercise number 3. It's homework, okay? هذا واجب لكم. Write sentences about you. Use always, sometimes, and never. المطلوب منكم أن تكتبوا جمل عن أنفسكم. كل طالب يكتب جمل عن نفسه وأن يستخدم always, sometimes, and never. Okay? So please don't forget to do your homework. لا تنسوا أن تكتبوا الواجب. فقط التمرين الثالث. اكتبوه على كتاب الأنشطة وعلى الدفتر. Okay?